Welcome back to this, already the final segment of The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Well, you know, now more than ever, there's a lot of talk about college education, what's going on in the college education front, and we're going to talk a little bit about that on today's program with one of our contributors, Jason Granlund, with an excellent company called CareerStage.com, helping schools, helping students, and really helping people, particularly younger people, prosper in one of the more challenging economies we've had in our history. Jason, tell us a little more about your company, CareerStage, and then introduce your guests.
Well, Career Stage is all about trying to, help recent college graduates gain access to really the types of employers that you don't see frequently recruiting recent college graduates. So we're looking for ways to help recent grads gain access to the job market and increase opportunities for them.
Awesome. And your guest today?
My guest today is Angie Thomas, the Director of Career Services from Lamar University up in Beaumont.
Very good. And welcome to the program. We're glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about Lamar University? Obviously, it's pretty close to Houston, but we got a lot of schools here, so we don't hear as much about it. Tell us a little bit.
Actually, Lamar University is only 90 miles east of Houston, so like you said, it's not very far. We have about 14,000 students that attend Lamar University. We're actually known by U.S. News and World Report that we have one of the largest diverse campuses in the U.S. We have about 59% female students and 41% male students. We are representative of different countries throughout the U.S., like Germany and Bangladesh. So Lamar actually prides itself on having a really big, diverse student population.
Very cool. Go ahead, Jason.
So, Angie, your job is a little bit like mine in that you're trying to convince employers to hire, recent college graduates. Why should an employer hire a recent college graduate?
That's a good question. Employers usually have their certain ways they like to do things. They're set in their ways. They want procedures to be ran certain ways. So usually when you bring someone in who's seasoned, they may have certain ways that the employer may not want them to do things, or safe ways. So actually a new grad would be a good person that you could mold to the proper ways you want things ran.
They're a blank slate.
Yes.
A blank slate with skills, right?
Exactly.
And they haven't become so opinionated that they're not capable of working with others yet.
Right.
Yeah, that's very cool.
They're
Go ahead.
eager, ready to get to work, motivated. Definitely. They're really good people to...
What types of trends are you seeing in terms of employers coming out to Lamar? Are you seeing employers coming from Houston? Is it mostly employers from Beaumont? What types of employers are you seeing?
We do have a lot of Houston employers come for our accounting areas. Accounting, finance, engineering, well known for engineering and accounting. Those are the majors that are actually trending.
And have you seen much of an uptick over the last, say, 12 months?
Definitely. Well, we're getting in our fall semester, and of course everything is rocking and rolling and going 100 miles per hour. We've got a lot of campuses, employers coming and starting their on-campus interviews.
Yeah, I wanted to find out, in terms of, because you guys monitor this type of thing on an annual basis, how is it feeling now compared to, say, just a few years ago when it comes to interest by employers?
I would say it's definitely increased. We're feeling the heat. We're excited about it. It's keeping us busy, and
so you're seeing an improved situation when it comes to that. Go ahead. Jason.
What about like in terms of the career fairs? How many employers were you seeing, say, a year ago, and versus coming up this next time? How many are you anticipating?
Our career fairs definitely have increased. We've already started getting in the employees that are interested in participating. That's so far we're hoping to have it increase by like 10 employers from last year.
How many do you typically have at that event in terms of employers and potential employees?
Well, I was going to say, if you count them all together, because we do our events that we do have, the career fairs, we have it separated to engineering specific and then accounting specific, and then we have one for all majors. So if you add that all together, it's close to 100.
Wow, that's great.
It is.
So I think a lot of employers don't realize that your office offers a lot of actually free services for an employer that is maybe willing to consider, a Lamar graduate. Can you talk about, some of those services that you guys offer? I think really the only service you charge for is the career fair. Am I wrong?
No, that's correct.
So what are some of the other services that an employer could take advantage of without maybe even having to come to Beaumont?
Well, we definitely make use of Skype. So if they don't want to come to Beaumont, we can do some interviews through Skype. We do offer, we have workshops for for professional development, where we have employers, we ask them to come and present to the students, how to dress for success, building teamwork, branding your company. Employers can come and present for that. We also have information sessions where employers can come and speak on their behalf of their company of why it is so great to work for company X, if you will.
And of course, there's the job postings, right?
And then job postings, exactly, that's free.
Where else? Yeah, exactly. Where else can you find a free job posting? You have to pay for Craigslist. You have to pay for everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. What about the cost of the job fair for the employer? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, our job fairs are very competitive across the Golden Triangle and Houston as well. The fee for our all major job fairs is about $200, and for our county specific only, it's about $150.
That's great.
So yes, it's very competitive.
What are the top, say, few positions that you see employers recruiting for? We mentioned accounting, so fairly entry-level accounting type positions, engineering positions.
Yes.
Are there any other types that you think are common? If an employer's thinking, what can I use Lamar for? What type of job can I send to the Career Center? What would you say?
Computer science, is another growing area. So that and math.
Math students are always so smart. I love math majors.
We're getting a lot of interest for math students. So
that's interesting.
It is.
So tell me about the student body in terms of where they come from. Many from the greater Houston area. I'm curious because I've met several Lamar graduates over the years. So here in Houston,
we do have a lot of Houston students, but a lot of them are locally in the Golden Triangle, which is Orange, Beaumont, Port Arthur, Silsbee. So around that area, that's the majority of them. They're first-generation students. A lot of our students at Lamar are. But we do have, like I said, the Houston students.
Jason, got to wrap it up. Why don't you have any final thoughts as we wrap it up?
Well, I just think that it's easy to forget about schools like, Lamar and Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston, but they really are great institutions doing, great work, and they're growing. And I think it's just important for employers to, remember that there are some fantastic students. We worked with actually the valedictorian from Lamar. Won't forget him for a long, long time. Helped him get a job with a local company called Reverse Mortgage Solutions. And there are some exceptional candidates at some of these schools.
Yeah, I agree. And in fact, these schools are really geared towards undergraduates, whereas some of the more prestigious schools are geared towards those graduate students. And so you're getting some kids that really had a lot of individual attention that they wouldn't have gotten if they got to one of those more prominent schools. And so I'm a big fan of schools of this size. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
CareerStage.com is your website.
That's right.
And for the Lamar University, is there a particular site besides lamar.edu?
Lamar.edu.
Very good. Thanks to both of you. I'm Kevin Price. Do want to remind you the best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. You're listening to The Price of Business. More tomorrow right here on this great station.